Yes, EFD squad, you know what this intro means. It's Stat Wars, the OG edition between me and Patrick Van Straten. One, because we can't get hold of Don Strapsy. Some call him Don Sneaksy. Oh, where is he? Not in the chair. A bit like me. So, and two, because Pato is suffering a crisis of confidence after the whole Bobby Seagull fiasco, cleaning his mouth like Ashley Young. What happened there?
He was just very good.
The favourite.
He was very good.
He was.
When I got downstairs, Doogie said, I made the questions harder for you. And I was like, cheers, Doogie. Like, you've embarrassed us both.
So he should, because if you'd won a bounce, that'd have been poor, you know? We want a new winner, a bit like the World Cup.
It's a good point. I'm out like Germany, first round, bang.
And that segues nicely into the theme of this show, which is a World Cup Stat Wars. To celebrate England going through, I'm playing Pato. Barely makes sense, but you know, let's dive straight in.
That's what one person doing the Mexican wave looks like. The first question comes from the Dabbis cow. Moo! Name all 3 African countries that have made it to the World Cup quarter-finals.
I believe it's Ghana, Cameroon, and the last one I think, is it Morocco? Morocco.
I'd have gone Ivory Coast for the last one. See, 2 of them were relatively easy. Senegal and the wild card, right?
Oh!
Crisis. Time crisis. What a game that was. Pa-pow!
Time crisis too.
Did you have the pedal?
What do you mean, did I have it? What, like at home?
I never had the pedal, and my friend Joe did.
But then how do you start? How do you go? Were you just out all the time?
I don't know.
Because the pedal's what keeps you behind the door, right? You're naturally behind the door. You press the pedal, out, bang, bang.
We had the pedal
in,
and the
bang,
gun.
bang.
The next question comes from Benjamin Clark once again. He wants to know, can you name the only World Cup that no one has ever scored a hat-trick in? That makes sense, doesn't it?
What?
I mean, if you get this, it'll be hard to give you credit because it'll be a guess. But on the other hand, if you don't get it, there's absolutely no shame because why would anyone know this?
Pele scored a lot of goals. Don't go for the World Cups he was in. Maradona scored a lot of goals. Don't go for the World Cups he was in.
What about Miroslav Klose though?
Miroslav Klose also scored a lot of goals. R9, Originaldo. So what does that leave me with? I might go for one in more recent memory.
That's what I'd do, I think.
Yeah, and because South Africa is generally panned for being the worst,
This is what I'd say.
I'm going to go for South Africa.
Fair enough. All right.
New knowledge acquired. Every day is a school day.
This next question comes from Mahmoud Talab. Who was the player to win Best Young Player of the tournament in the 2002 World Cup? I believe that was in Japan and South Korea.
I think Owen Hargreaves had a good World Cup that one.
Best young players at
Which was the one where Pele was like, Nicky Butt was the best player at this tournament. I think that might have been 2002, but I don't think he was that young by then. Owen was still pretty young, but I think
him having a great Euros as opposed to a great World Cup.
You know, I don't really have a smart guess here, so I might as well go for Owen Hargreaves. There's a little part of me that thinks, you know, that's possible.
If you've got that, that's an exceptional shout. I would never have gone for that curly-haired man.
Jesus Christ. Landon Donovan. He's always been I love it when you talk to Americans. Do you remember that time when an American guy went up to Zlatan Ibrahimovic and he said, what do you think of Landon Donovan's retirement? And he said, who? It was fucking amazing.
Next question comes from James, who works at Football Daily. Just thought we'd make one up ourselves. Who was the country to finish 3rd in the first ever World Cup, which was in like 1930? So good luck remembering that one.
I might know this.
Yeah, I imagine you've done a script on this. First World Cup was hosted in Uruguay, right? And I think a lot of European teams refused to partake because they preferred the Olympics at that point.
Yeah. And it was a small World Cup, I think. Weren't there like 8 teams or something? I believe.
I'm going to go for America, actually. I don't know where that's come from. The US of A.
I think it's the USA.
Yes!
Bang.
That...
Did you know that?
Just came to me last minute.
Yes.
A bit like Yerry Mina. And how did that work out? Yeah.
The next question comes from no one. We did not write the name down this time. Professional as ever, but that's not my responsibility, so please don't attack me for that, but attack me for everything else. Which team at the World Cup this year has the most foreign-born players?
Yeah, well, I don't know that, so that's the problem. Your temptation here is to go for an African nation because so many players playing for African nations were born in France or the UK. Senegal less likely than the other three. Nigeria, I'd say less likely than Tunisia and Morocco. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. But also, this is complicated, right? Because then you've got how are they judging this, right? Because, for instance, most Croatian players not actually born in a country called Croatia. They're born in the former Yugoslavia. Does that count? Because if it's that, I'm challenging that.
I imagine
That's
whoever's sent
bullshit.
it, has gone off birth records, has gone on a month, escapade to put this question together, because that is how committed our fans are. So I'm expecting extreme accuracy.
Yeah, if it's Croatia, I feel like that's bullshit. So I'll just go ahead and say Tunisia. Why not?
Oh, you said them! Ugh. Yes! Needed the first round.
Unbelievable.
Haven't done hot potato in a while, so I could be dreadful at it. Kieran?
Welcome to Hot Patot once again, and this question comes from Sefi. Can you name all the French teams to have qualified for the Europa League or the Champions League since the year 2009? Peculiar year to pick, but do it anyway.
What? This is quite the deviation
That's
from a World Cup question.
The dumbest question I've ever heard. Let's go.
PSG.
Marseille.
Lyon.
Nice.
Lille.
Saint-Etienne.
Hang on, my next one. Strasbourg. Bordeaux.
Monaco.
Le Havre. Montpellier.
Toulouse. Oh,
Good
wow.
shout. Sacre Bleu.
Thank God, because I genuinely had nothing else. We must have nearly all of them.
Rennes,
Wouldn't have got...
Maybe Rennes.
I was literally like Lens, like Cannes.
The next Hot Patot comes from Jordan Morgan, and he wants to know, can you name all the Golden Ball, not boot, Golden Ball winners since the year 1978?
Messi.
Maradona.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldinho. Romario.
Forlan.
Klose. Really? Interesting. I'm trying to think Germany 2014. Ozil. Cruz. Other great players. Nedved. Oh, that was
I already
rubbish.
got 2014, mate. I already got Messi.
Oh, shocker. That was a fix.
Thank God.
When Messi went in 2014.
Well, doesn't make it any less true.
Much like Stat was the champion.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter any less.
On theme.
Doesn't matter any less.
I've got to take down Bobby Seagull to avenge you. But if he beats the pair of us, then
He deserves it.
we retire it as a strand.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be great. Okay.
Oh, I'm disappointed I didn't get a couple of them. Zidane, I was going to say Lothar Matthäus, but when I was going Ballon d'Or winners, it was either him or Nedved.
I got confused.
Don't know why I said
with
Nedved.
that. I was like, maybe I'll keep Mario Kempes in the back pocket.
Yeah, you would 100% would have won that. I just wanted to get a couple more, really. Who am I?
Oh, I hate this round. I'm so bad at this round.
Who am I? I am Mohammed Alvin. We pick the same people every week for questions, and thank you very much. It makes it so much easier to make this program. I've played with Darren Bent, Cristiano Ronaldo, Robbie Keane, that was his celebration, and Giovanni Dos Santos. Can't do it.
Oh no.
Go on. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Oh no.
You don't get thinking time
John
after
O'Shea.
your buzz.
Smoke weed every day.
Is it Berbatov? Okay.
For 2 points, I won the La Liga, the Champions League, but never the Premier League.
Ooh. Gareth Bale.
Dos Santos. Oh, is he one of the guys?
He's one of the
He was
guys.
one of the guys of the first question.
Not a great guess. It's not your best guess.
Well, I've embarrassed myself.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
questions.
Oh, wow.
I've scored 14 goals for my country and 2 at the World Cup this year.
Xavi Hernandez. Ah, it.
Is it Luka Modric?
Ah! Nil point.
This next Who Am I comes from Benjamin Clark once again. Mad, you're mental, in a good way and in a bad way. For 3 points, I've played with Samuel Eto'o, Cristiano Ronaldo, Van Bronckhorst, and, oh, so close, I nearly remembered them all. Chris Sutton. You can't blame me for getting Chris Sutton.
Henrik Larsson. Yes!
Wow. They've given you a f***ing Henrik Larsson
Henrik.
question.
Yeah, Gio's Dutch.
That's an outrage.
Always comes to my aid.
Unbelievable. That's
The king of kings.
That's a disgrace, is what that is.
Make my tongue as big as his in the edit.
For 3 points, this next question comes from someone we've made up. I've played with Xabi Alonso, Mark Noble, and Brazilian Ronaldo.
Please don't get
Is it Julien Faubert?
this. Great guess though. I'm thinking it has to be Ronaldo at AC Milan. And then I'm thinking, well, Mark Noble has to be West Ham. Mark Noble is such a anomaly in that scenario.
I can't even conceive of who this would be.
He's the fly in the ointment. Picky on. I don't know.
Oh my god.
For 2 points, I've scored 68 goals in 146 games for my country.
What? Chicharito.
That's so many games, man.
Can Van Straten salvage it? Can he regain some pride following the Seagull fiasco?
I've literally no idea who this is, by the way.
Mate,
I've got no shot.
I'm stumped.
John Carew.
Yes! Yes, I've won. No, it's not John Carew. Who is it? Robbie Keane.
At Inter.
That's f***ing mental. He played everywhere. He went
Threw
on
us off
loan
by
at
having Robbie
so
Keane early on.
many clubs. I would never have guessed Robbie Keane.
Sake.
68 goals.
I thought of Robbie
internationally.
Keane earlier, and then I was like, no, he went to Inter, not Milan, you idiot. And then I was like, and now I realise so did Fat Ronaldo. So. 2 successive losses. It's as good a time as any to quit.
So that was Stat Wars OG edition in the middle of a Stat Wars The Champions for you. A little treat, World Cup themed. It's coming home. Van Straten's not gonna win. Stat Wars The Champions, which will hopefully be back next week if Don Strapsy replies. Shout out to you if you're watching. Reply to my DM. Let's organise the clash. I think he's running scared of Jalab.
Oh God, he's playing Zach.
Jalab's star is in the ascendancy.
Zach's 20 years away from winning Stat Wars The Champions. there's no way.
And on that bombshell, goodbye.